Hello and welcome listeners of Good Morning BSS podcast. This is a podcast where you can find out a lot of information about what is happening in the business services. Today we have an episode from the cycle Who Are They? And my guest is Paul Kusmierz from Master Management Group. Hi Paul.
Hi, how are you?
Very well, thank you very much, and thank you for coming to my show just to discuss about your business, Master Management Group. Tell me a little bit who you are. How is it started?
The company was registered in 2006, and it was a company that I assumed at the time was going to be very short term. We were one of the first people to go into secondary cities to do retail back in 2005, 2006. So we were acquiring retail properties from local developers and creating a large portfolio. And what we found is there was no one in the regional cities to manage on our behalf. So we were forced to set up a management company to manage the portfolio. And that was the beginnings. We ended up selling the portfolio. We stayed on as managers after we sold it, and we continued to do our developments and manage, and the business just grew and grew. So something that we thought was going to be very short term turned into a long-term business. It's been 17 years now since we started Master Management.
So everything started in 2006 with the retails from the smaller cities. Which cities?
Oh, geez, at the time, Sandomierz, we're talking cities in Śląsk. We were in Katowice with a small retail plot. We were buying some big box Ijsk. So we were all over Poland. It was 16 properties that we acquired in 18 months.
Okay, so that's impressive, to be honest. But in the line of time, this is not only retail which you are focusing at. You have moved to the office industry as well.
Correct. I mean, we developed and acquired, managed over 600,000 square meters in our portfolio. And that includes not only retail, we're very well known for our retail, but we also developed some hotels. And then we're famous, I guess, for Hi Piotrkowska in Łódź, which is over 34,000 square meter mixed use office hotel project in Łódź. And it was our first tower and the tallest building. So that was a move we made in 2017 to acquire the land from an English group and decided to develop our tower with the idea to develop more office buildings in regional cities, kind of copycat what we did with retail. Fortunately, we finished and completed the building in 2020, which October 2020, right when COVID, right in the middle of COVID, which was fun. Challenging, and so we've had to put a little bit hold on new developments, but we're unleashing some of our land bank now for retail, and we still really enjoy the office development, and we, knock on wood, we hope to be doing some more office development projects in the near future.
But what stood behind that idea? Because you were already a professional with a number of sites in this retail, yeah? So being present in a number of cities. And then suddenly this idea of being a developer of a modern office building, come on, this is not an easy market in Poland, especially in the bigger cities. And this is one of the tallest buildings in the city of Łódź.
Well, I think what intrigued me the most was the location. This was presented through a friend and said, Paul, you need to look at this location. It's an incredible location in Łódź. And obviously it is an incredible location. And then we said, what are we going to do with it? The land was expensive at the time. And he said, well, we have to go as tall as we can go to get our money back. Let's build an iconic building. And it was something that we always said at Master Management as a joke. If you ever look at our logo, it's a tree, but it's a tower. And I said, one day we're going to build a tower. And I said, well, this is the tower. So it was always in the back of our minds to get involved. And I think we had to build a reputation to get some confidence with the banks that we could go out and build a building like this. Remember, I'm funded by myself and individual partners, so we don't have a fund behind us. We're a private company. So It took, years to get the banks to come behind us to allow us to build a development like this. But, we loved it. It was a lot of fun. Enjoyed it. And we took all of our retail expertise into the retail part of it. And we hired great architects. And I think we ended up with a fantastic project. And we have some great global international tenants in the location as well. So it's been challenging and learning experience, a little bit different from retail, but we enjoyed it very much.
Yeah, but the retail is also a part of this building. You mentioned this is a mixed-use type of a building, so a little bit of retail is still over there.
Absolutely. I had envisioned it would be a little bit different retail. I think it's more services now than actual retail, and that's what's kind of changed after COVID. So, we have the flower shop, we have the coffee shop in Starbucks, we have the bank. So that whole line row is services, and it's doing very well. And we have, Rossmann is in there as well. So, we mixed it all together. It's one of the reasons we put the lobby of the hotel on the first floor, so that the ground floor we could get retail high rents to help pay for this building.
Yeah, this is, I've been to your building over there, and this is really something not so obvious to have a reception desk of a hotel, not on the ground floor, but on the first floor. That's something unique.
Well, I've seen that. I grew up in the States. Won't get into myself too long. My father was born in Poland here, but I saw that in Minneapolis. I had a friend that developed buildings, and they have a small area on the ground floor, and they push people up to get the rents on the ground floor. So it wasn't my idea, but that's what real estate is. You look around and see, and try to take the best ideas and incorporate it into your scheme.
Sure, but a good idea. You mentioned that you are financing your projects on your own. Yeah, that you are a private investor.
My own, with also let's say private equity, and that's basically private individuals.
Okay.
At the beginning, we worked a lot with the funds, and happy to work with the funds. But we progress now where more family offices and private individuals. So we're really a boutique shop. We're open for business, but we like to say we're a private boutique.
And when it comes for a long-term run of managing your properties, is it like that you are building and then selling them, or you continue on managing them on a long-term run?
We manage them on a long-term goal. I mean, everything's for sale always, so to speak. But for example, in Oświęcim, we built Gallery Niva, and that's 13 years ago, and we still own it. So it just depends on the asset, of course, and what's happened and how the market conditions are. But we've sold quite a lot of properties over the last 17 years, and we've stayed on in management of some of them, and then we've left management. So everything happens. Yeah, at our peak, we were managing 550,000 GLA at one time, and now we're at about 135,000. So it's open. It depends, the city, what we're selling, what the market conditions are like. But we usually go into a business plan and think that we're going to, 5 to 7 years maximum. But everything changes. Nothing's set in stone.
Yeah, sure. Let's come back maybe to Hi Piotrkowska and this office part of your business. Who are you targeting as your tenants? So, okay, the building is one of the tallest in the city. It is very well located in the heart of the city of Łódź, very close to the main street, which is the Piotrkowska Street within this agglomeration. Is there do you have any preferences of companies who should be tenants on the building?
Well, when we first built the building, we wanted to make it the most prestigious building in Łódź, and I think we did that. Yeah, I think everyone knows the building. We spent the money on it. I think what's important is that it's BREEAM excellent, which cost us more money, but we did that intentionally, and the idea was we wanted to attract global brands. I mean, that was the idea, whether it was IT, bank, finance. There was a lot of conversation. Should we make it the World Trade Center of Łódź to join the World Trade Center organization? At the end, we didn't, but we were entertaining that because that's what we were trying to accomplish. And And so far, I think we've been able to do that. Yes, we have PKO Bank, PP. We have IT companies. C just joined us, as you know. iTech Art is in the building. We were fortunate enough, we've signed Signify, another billion-dollar global brand. And I think besides the prestigious location and the building being Class A, the ESG point really helps these global. It's like, okay, we've checked the box. These guys, our service charge is low and it's going to stay low. And plus we're, not hurting the environment. So that's very helpful. So those are some of the key things we did in the development, and it's paying off. Yeah, it's paying off, and we still have a little ways to go in the building with leasing, and we'll be announcing a couple of big tenants very shortly. Again, global tenants. So, we give a lot of credit to the city of Łódź. They've really did a great job of trying to draw potential tenants to the city, not only to our building, but the city itself and the money they spent on infrastructure and everything else. And it's becoming like an IT hub, not just in our building and others, which is great. So that was the idea behind it, and it's working. Yeah.
Yeah, IT and finance and banking hub, as I can see, and Signify, which you mentioned, this is also a representation of shared service centers and global service centers. So it looks like for the services industry, basically, this is an attractive location.
Yeah, for sure. And I think what's nice is it's on the transportation hub, and 50,000 people a day just walk right by our building. So when you're looking at a service for services, easy transportation, people can get to work, come and go easily. We have the bike parking, everything you can imagine that you would want in a modern day facility. We have from fitness, to the banks, to a hotel connected to the building with all the services for your employees. It's a nice place to work. And one of our tenants came to us because they said, Paul, after COVID, people don't want to come to the office. It's great coming to this new building. They're excited to come to work. There's great restaurants around the area close by. So it's invigorated people's offices, and there's a lot of people coming back to the office now, especially in the IT industry where people can work from anywhere. They're happy to come to this building with these new fit outs and the amenities the tenants are putting in for their employees. So I think long term, it's a great place to be, and our tenants are very happy, which is great for us. Yes.
You mentioned that this is your first office building. Is it the first and the last, or there are plans for another ones?
Well, as I said, I think pre-COVID we were close to acquiring 2 or 3 more plots, quite frankly, to be building some big size buildings around Poland. COVID came and hit the brakes. You see the other office developers; they're continuing to go. I had a land bank, which I'm unleashing now. We're going to start construction of some of our retail this year, but we absolutely have our eye out on a couple of locations, and we definitely plan on building some more offices in the future, we hope. Yes. It's okay. Too much knowledge we learned just to walk away. Yeah.
Okay, so I will keep my fingers crossed actually and watch how the Hi Piotrkowska is growing when it comes to the whole, let's say, for fulfilling all of the floors with those brands, international brands which you were mentioning, and also keeping my fingers crossed for your next office projects, which may appear in some of the Polish cities. Is Poland the only market you are focusing on, or maybe you are also considering to go to some others?
In the past, we've been in the Czech Republic, also Bulgaria. We exited those areas. We would still consider Czech Republic. We look at Slovakia occasionally because there's lots of opportunities for us there. Obviously, with COVID, we really focused on the home market, but we have people located there that we work with, and it's always a possibility for sure.
Okay, the last question. If anyone wanted to get some more information about Master Management Group, so where such person should go?
Oh, well, you can probably find us on LinkedIn for sure, but you can go to the webpage. Obviously, I think we're on Facebook and all the social media. But the simple one is www.mmgm.pl. and it has all of our projects, and you can click on and see the movies of what we did, including Hi Piotrkowska and our retail projects, and it shows our pipeline, a little bit of our history. And then we have a lot of updates on MMGM, on LinkedIn, just kind of updating people what's going on. And those are probably the main two. And of course, there's Facebook. And all of our shopping malls have the local people working that and updating the information. So
I will make sure actually to add some of those links to the description of our today's talk. So it will make people, let's say, easier to find where Master Management Group is. Thank you for today.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.